Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BTB Movie Club podcast. My name is Ryan Malo. We hope you enjoyed today's movie discussion. Thanks for listening.
All right, well, let's get this party started here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BTB Movie Club. We are here to discuss movie number 236. It is 2017's I, Tonya, picked by somebody that we don't know. Well, one person here knows. Written by somebody called Steven Rogers. We'll assume that's not Captain America. He did a few interviews with the important people in this story. Found that they do not match up. I'm sure the FBI enjoyed that as well during their time investigating this, and decided to tell this story using their opinions as they were and let the audience figure it out for themselves. So, directed by Craig Gillespie. This was picked by somebody we don't know because of the ongoing contest. All 8 of us have picked a movie. They have been randomly decided, and we will guess each week who picked the movie at the end of the podcast here. And at the end of the 8th week, we'll find out who picked each movie, and we will have a winner. The person who picked the right person the most amount of times would be the winner. The first tiebreaker is the least amount of times you got picked for your movie. And the second tiebreaker is Rotten Tomatoes audience score, because critics suck. If there were to be a third tiebreaker, I think it's an arm wrestle. But anyway, this week is Ryan Malo's turn to lead this discussion. He was randomly assigned I, Tonya. Ryan Malo, the show is yours. Take it away.
Okay, 2 things. Number 1, I forgot that last part. Number 2, so the tiebreaker is to get picked least?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking it was like Balderdash or whatever, where you want to get people to guess that you chose the thing, but that's helpful. Okay.
You mean you're accurately guessed the least?
You are accurately guessed the least. Yes. That is correct.
Just lose Aaron?
We did just lose Aaron Lashbrook. He's recalibrating, I'm sure, and he'll be back with an expandable baton.
Enough of the explanation for the rules here.
Or he just doesn't like the rules and decided to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with the time-tested who got here first order that I have on my screen. So, Brian, you win.
Yay. Oh, is it weird, Malo, that you're running the movie that you picked?
I'm used to it.
Oh,
That's fair.
Yeah, that is fair.
So, yeah, I, Tonya, I've seen it before. For some reason, I think I watched it during the pandemic. One of those had lots of time off and was watching movies. It was on Hulu. Had to pay this time to watch it because I'm not watching Tubi, Dan. I'm not doing it. No matter how many times you try to pick movies that we have to watch on Tubi and commercials.
It wasn't on Hulu for me. I have Hulu and it wasn't.
No, it's not on Hulu anymore. I had to rent it on.
Okay. Gotcha.
Brian has had
Amazon.
2 complete thoughts, and he's already accused 2 different people of choosing this movie. I like what you're doing there, Brian.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. So anyways, this is one of those, I like the way it was done. I think that, the director, the way it was written, the dialogue, everything was well done by everyone. Allison Janney. Yeah. The mom, fantastic. Deserves the Oscar that she got awarded for it.
Yep.
One of my favorites parts was when she was like screaming at her. She's like, Christ, you call that a flawless skate? That's not. And the lady's like, don't swear in front of the children. I didn't swear, you cunt. She just kept going. And I wonder how accurate that her portrayal was of her, LaVon, because, there are a lot of shitty parents out there, and but she literally was working as a waitress in many hours just so their kid could skate. It wasn't a good push that she was giving her, the most supportive, but I don't think her end goal was to be a millionaire off her daughter skating. I think she was just trying to do something for a kid. Is that weird? I don't know. Um, the friend, uh, Paul Walter Hauser.
I was there. Yeah.
So they never said it, but he obviously was one of the guys who rode the bus Galooly was the driver for at one point. Am I right on this?
Yeah.
Probably.
So
Yeah. The word delusional was used for him at one point, and I think what you're doing is tapping into the reason why.
yeah. But they never pointed it out, which, you know, it was good. But yeah, I'm sure that's where they met. The attack, the incident, I believe they called it, happened at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. And that looked nothing like the surrounding of Joe Louis Arena. For those of you guys who have never been there, Joe Louis Arena was basically along the river in a shitty area of Detroit. So
And the expressway, right?
there was-
River on one
yeah.
side and expressway on the other side.
correct. So there's no trees anywhere.
Yeah,
There's no
it's-
nice
it's
little
concrete everywhere.
it
Right.
was-
Now, I thought now maybe you know the factual thing, but I thought I saw that they said it was at Cobo Arena.
I'm pretty sure it was Kobo. Yeah.
okay, but which okay.
Which is right down the
Still
street.
the same.
From Joe Louis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't change your point a lot.
Right. But I did forget that they could skate at Kobo too. They could set it up there. But yeah, I mean, Margot Robbie, fantastic. Sebastian Stan, great. I was going to look it up and I didn't look it up. There was another movie he did with Wendy Roush, I think her name is, the Bernadette from Big Bang Theory, where she plays, she was an Olympic gold medalist in gymnastics and from a small town and like wins the medal. And then she's living off of it for the next 20 years. And Sebastian Stan is just, for some reason, I think of that, that movie role that he did comparable to this one for no good reason, but he just, another one of the delusional guys. He's not abusive and punches her like he did Tonya, but and not that I followed ice skating at all, except, you know, I don't think too many people did until Nancy Kerrigan got hit in the knee. Then people found it interesting. But like the idea that
Nobody was watching figure skating.
I guess I
It
shouldn't
wasn't an
say.
Olympic sport and a national
Okay,
team
let
until
me put it this way: people watch it every 4 years. Let's be honest. So
I don't know how much Americans were interested in figure skating until this happened. I'm gonna agree with Brian on that one.
thank you.
And
But-
the movie was The Bronze, by the way.
The bronze, okay. So, but was Nancy Kerrigan like? Did they keep this quiet? The abuse and all that she was going through. I just didn't. You know, you think that something that bad and the cops being called all the time and shootings and some of that would have got out. They would have cared enough about her to pursue stuff like that, or the journalists would have looked into it. So, but again, very well written movie. Acting was good throughout. I found it believable. So, yeah, Wilden, great pick.
Thank you, sir.
Wait, wasn't it Hilty that said he picked Matt last week because he didn't show up?
Oh, that's true.
I was going to get there too, but I let that one go because it is possible. Okay, so this movie was done by Neon, who is also like stepsister of A24. Neon really hasn't been putting together too many good movies, where A24 has started to put some stuff together. And that kind of made me lean towards Hilty a little bit, but I was going to get to that later. But yeah, Neon is one of those lesser known production companies. So
Interesting.
and I think it's Aaron because he keeps distracting us with leaving and saying it's the internet.
It's probably Aaron. Yeah.
No one's safe from accusations. I think
Yeah.
that's
I said that this was a contest,
on
and
hate.
Aaron immediately went to hide and seek. He's playing a hide and seek game.
All right. So actually, I think Dan, Matt, and Aaron the first time I noticed all pretty close together. But right now, Dan is next on the screen, so you win. So you're up.
Okay. Yeah, I think I also saw this the first time. Oh, this is the second time seeing it. I saw it the first time during the pandemic also. But you know, this was a crazy story for those of us that lived in the Detroit area in '94. I remember my initial thought about all this was some asshole from Detroit went and fucking
Yeah.
whacked her in the knee.
Here
you
we go
know?
again. We
Yep.
can't do anything right.
Yep. And then we found out it was somebody from out of town. We're like, yeah, those stupid out of town people coming here and fucking up. But yeah, it was pretty crazy there for a while. But yeah, I like the movie. Uh, I mean, he lets the audience decide, what they think of it, but he does kind of paint her as a sympathetic character. She's getting smacked around by her boyfriend and knife thrown at her by her mom, and so they make her a little sympathetic, which I don't know if in reality that was true, because I remember one of the Portland journalists saying that she's just a complete liar all the time. She lies about everything. So, but yeah, believe what you want from the movie. You don't know who's lying, who's telling the truth. Um, but I think that it was really a challenge to make this movie, with a lot of domestic abuse going on, and also make you kind of laugh at the same time. So I thought they did a good job of that. Um, let's see, what else did I write down here? Um, it's kind of, I read also that it's kind of strange. Allison Janney, who I thought she did a great job. She was awesome. I think her and the what's his name? Paul Michael Hauser. I think
Paul
they make
Walter Hauser.
Paul Walter. Thank you. I think they make the movie. They are as as good as Margot Robbie and Sebastian Guy were. I think those two are what really made the movie good. Um, let's see, but Alice, she was actually a competitive figure skater when she was younger, like very serious about it, and uh, she hurt her leg. She went into a glass door and like almost had to have her leg amputated when she was like 16 or 17. So that was kind of the end of her skating. But let's see what else. I mean, but man, what a bitch. She goes there and she pretends to be sympathetic towards her daughter when her daughter's like going crazy and needs some help. And she's wearing a white, she has a tape recorder. She just wants to get, tape record. Like Brian said, I don't know how true this is. I don't know if she really was that big of a bitch or not. But man, the movie, they definitely made her out to be quite a nasty woman. But one of the things I just thought of that, one of the things they said at the beginning, what she had 4 kids from 3 different guys or something like that. So she's a little out there.
Creepy Chris.
What's that?
One of them was Creepy Chris, the stepbrother that she had arrested the day that
Oh.
she started dating Jeff.
Creepy Chris, yeah. But I read that Margot Robbie, like they said that she transformed her body. She like made more of like a masculine kind of walk so that she could better do this role. And also they couldn't find anybody that could do a triple, whatever it's called, triple Lutz.
Axel.
Triple axel, thank you. They couldn't find anybody that would do it. The only people that could do it are like Olympians who are training for the Olympics. So they had to do it, CGI or actually doing the triple. But yeah, I like the movie. Hilty, good pick. And well, I got some more that took a few other notes, but I'll talk a little bit more later. But yeah, I like the movie. Back
All
to
right,
you,
thanks,
Melo.
sir. Thank you, sir. So I just wanted to double check. So Allison Janney was a competitive skater up
Yeah.
until the accident. Wow, I didn't
Yep.
catch that. I read a bunch of stuff with like Wikipedia and all of that, but and in that I did read about how they had to use the CGI and had a
Yeah,
little
I
bit
wanted to
about
look it up because I figured that Margot wasn't actually doing the skating. It's a pretty good assumption, but I wanted to see how they did it. If they used, body doubles or CGI or whatever. A
I
little bit of
read that.
both, I guess.
I read that too, guys, and I, it read like she tried, like she trained 5 hours a day for 5 months, just so she could get the rest of the skating down. But I read that she tried and tried to get to that triple axel, and she couldn't do it because it's a really hard fucking thing to do, apparently. And the girls who might be able to do it were all potentially going to be in the Olympics, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not doing that just for your silly little movie," so they weren't available.
Yeah, to that, I think it would take a lot of training to be able to do just the technical stuff they do, like the ice dancing type of stuff, and a lot of it. I also find it little hard to believe that they would let your star actress, try this very complicated spin move that could, injure her and knock her out of the production for quite a while. But so I'd be curious to know, to what extent that really means, trying to pull that off. But
Melo,
yeah, I thought for sure.
Sorry, one more time. Margot Robbie is an executive producer for this movie. So that decision's up to the producer, who is her. So she's like, fuck it, I'm going to try it.
Fair. Yeah, I thought for sure it was body double stuff. Anyway, Mr. Smith, you're up.
All right. This is the first time I've seen it. Excuse me. Very good movie. I liked it a lot. I liked the style. I liked the opening, uh, whatever they call it, tile, whatever card that said, based on true, wildly contradictory. Like I like they kind of set it up right away. Like you're gonna get a couple different views here, and we don't know which one's right, so we're just gonna show you both. And then they did that throughout the movie with the two perspectives of the same scene. Um, it felt weird to laugh at this movie at times because some of the subject matter was funny, but some of it was definitely not. Um, you know, and again, we don't know exactly what the truth is, but like domestic abuse, obviously not funny. But to see the two perspectives and clearly no, she clearly participated as well. Like there was some back and forth there, which does not make it right, but at least she fought back a little bit, which is good to see. I uh I like the fourth wall stuff. I thought, like I said, I thought that was well done. Documentary, and then kind of within the movie, there was a documentary happening, right? Because they're talking to the screen. Um, Allison Janney is actually related to Tanya Harding. I read, through multiple generations of whatever. So that was kind of interesting. Um,
Really?
the
That's
the
crazy.
Isn't that weird? It's like her ninth removed grandfather or something is related to Tanya's eighth removed. It's really like a crazy off the wall connection, but it's there. Um, the so I remember all this. This was huge, obviously, and we were watching the Olympics when this happened, and it is interesting to see some of the what we think went into it. I really thought they were exaggerating so much stuff. And then you see the interview footage at the end. And like Sean, that was
He
him.
nailed it.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
like
nailed it.
Mhm.
he was a crazy psycho weirdo kind of guy. Like, and that was and the mom was, she had like Allison Janney was spot on. She definitely deserved, somebody said it, but she definitely deserved the award. Um, she did a great job. Um, Yeah, it was just interesting to see because when you're, let's see, what was this? This is the
94.
94. So I'm, let's say middle school, junior high when that was going on. So like all you see, even back then, all you know is what they show on the news, right? And so it was like, oh, Tonya Harding beat up Nancy Kerrigan to prevent her from going to, so she could go to the Olympics and all this stuff. And it's interesting to see kind of what all went into that. I thought Margot, is it Margot?
Margot. Yeah.
Margot. I always want to say Margaret because she's got a T in her name, but it's Margot. Um, she does. She has a T in her name. It's not a
She's
lie.
Aussie.
Just,
She,
yes.
she's Australian, yes. Um, yeah, no, I just really enjoyed the movie. I don't know what else to say. It was interesting. It was ridiculous. It was hopefully there's some kernels of truth in there for some of it. Um, yeah, and I was gonna say so. Oh, and then I tried to read up on like the comparison and what did Tanya Harding think? Because Tanya Harding obviously saw it. She gave an extra interview for some of this stuff, and she said her one of her favorite parts was when Margot told the judges to suck her dick. She says, "I really wish I would have said that. That would have been funny, um, but I didn't." So I can't remember what she said, but what else was I gonna say? Um, yeah, I
Sorry
like I
for
said,
one other
yeah,
thing.
go ahead.
Sorry. For context for you younger people, when they skated against each other in '94 Olympics, it was the sixth most watched television program in U.S. history.
Yeah.
That's how huge it was.
Wow.
For sure. For sure. I didn't, like I said, I'm in junior high. I wouldn't have watched figure skating, if this wasn't a big story. Um, yeah. And I think the other thing you see, and it's unfortunate because I know some of it's probably true, is just there are a lot of situations like this when your kid is young and a great at anything, great at something. You see that push from the parents who sometimes take it too far. You see a lot of people who handle it well, but unfortunately you see a lot of this too where we don't know how much of this is true, but even if there's a kernel of truth, I'm sure her childhood wasn't the most pleasant experience for her. And there's that fine line. It's funny. I just listened to our Whiplash episode the other day, and we were talking about pushing them to be greater, and so the worst two words you could say to someone is "good job" and all this stuff. And this would be an example of taking it too far, along with Fletcher from that movie, because I know there's kids who go through stuff like that, and it's sad. Her younger self, by the way. Was the girl from Gifted, right?
Correct.
When we watched that.
McKenna
So what is it? McKenna
McKenna
Grace,
Grace.
something like that. So funny because not the same, but very similar, like prodigy at something, pushed by someone in the family to be like that. Although Tanya didn't have someone sort of scaling it back like Chris Evans did in that movie. But yeah, good stuff, man. I'm glad I watched it. I'd never seen it before, so good stuff.
Yeah, it's funny. I watched, or not watched, listened to the podcast, the Whiplash one today, walking on this path, and I had that written down, the similarities there, because there's a
Mhm.
quote from, I think it's from Janny, where she says that, she believed that the only way she could do it is if she told her that she couldn't.
Right. Yeah.
Very similar, obviously. Okay. Tim, you're up.
Yeah, sure. Great pick, Brian. I I love watching a good dumpster fire, and this is a train wreck right into a dumpster fire onto an expressway with a truck explosion. Um, I've never seen this before, and I enjoyed watching it twice this week. I watched it and then made Nikki watch it with me again. Um, you right around the time that Tanya Harding lands the triple axel, and she's like, "I'm the best in the world." Like you actually, I don't know about you guys, I find myself rooting for her, even though I know where this movie's heading. And it's like against all odds, you grew up poor and rich and not doing the right things and not having a lot of resources. And I'm like, can kind of relate to a lot of this. And then she gets to the top, and then Galuli, some combination of are we ever going to know the truth here? Some combination of Galuli, Tanya Harding, and the weirdo Sean just lose their fucking mind. And I love watching this stuff. I wish there was a second movie, like a sequel. Um, it's too bad Aaron's not here because he's talked about before when Brian and Aaron and I lived together. One of the things we watched every day when we got back from class or work or whatever was Jerry Springer, because the entertainment value for watching Jerry Springer was just outstanding. And this is so much like that. I mean, you got it all. You got people self-professing as rednecks, driving trucks, shooting guns in a parking lot. Um, it's relationship issues, calling the cops, domestic violence, smoking like fiends in places where you're not supposed to smoke. Allison Janney smoking that cigarette on the ice rink is just hilarious. Like, you can't smoke in here. I'll smoke quietly. Um, like I just love this. I could not stop watching it. I have hardly any notes other than what I'm writing as you guys are talking because I could not look away from this dumpster fire train wreck, and I loved every second of it. Um, Allison Janney again totally deserves that Oscar, and now we've seen her in the way back where she's kind of a similar character as far as fuck everybody, right? Like, I mean, she's not as mean spirited, but she just doesn't mind what she says to anybody. Um, and then isn't she in that? What's the TV show? The Two Moms or something like that?
Mom.
Uh, it's just called Mom. I love her in that too. I mean, when she's playing an edgy character, she's hard to look away from. I think she does that so well. So yeah, I think Oscar worthy for sure. Love Margot Robbie in this movie. Thank you for pronouncing that correctly, Matthew. Um, what else? I just can't get over that Agululi exists and his buddy Sean. I just can't get over the fact that somebody's like, how can I help? This is how I show my love for my girlfriend. I'll do this, and then my buddy Sean will do this. Just just unbelievable that happened. And to tell you, Brian, to answer your question, who was watching figure skating? I'll tell you who. My mother and my sister. As we only had one TV, I can guarantee you that every time figure skating was on, from the 70s all through the 80s and 90s, we were watching figure skating very often. Scott Hamilton was a big deal back in the day, and then he ended up being a commentator, and Mom loved to hear Scott Hamilton talk. Let's see. Anything else here? Just a great watch, just a fun watch. I mean, a sad story, but I love a good dark comedy, and I think that this falls in dark comedy, even though it's kind of a true story ish. So choices by the writer and the director to take those interviews and go, you know what? Here's what we saw, and then break the fourth wall, like Matt said. And I think the artistry of shooting all this stuff and showing us the skating, even though it's digitally enhanced, was really really well done visually. And again, put more Jerry Springer movies out there, and I'll watch them. Great pick, Aaron.
All right. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, I forgot about the I'll Smoke Quietly. That's just a fantastic little moment. And as a high schooler at this time, there were definitely certain aspects of women's figure skating that I found intriguing. So I watched a fair amount.
Anything to do with the triple Lutz?
Want to call it that? I don't even know what that means.
Okay.
It's fun. Okay. Aaron, while we got you, let's capitalize on this. Oh,
Well,
right.
well, we don't have you.
Can't hear you, buddy.
Got to get the audio kicking.
I think there's some swear words in there.
Yeah, it looked like swear words. We can see him.
Did it work? Can you
Hey,
guys-
there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Like you guys are still freezing on me and stuff, so I don't know how long I'll be here, and I don't want to ruin the audio and everything. But before I get cut off or whatever, I just wanted to say, "Lick my ass, Diane." One of the best lines in the movie. But yeah, I'm sure what you guys have said is all the same stuff I was gonna say. I loved how it was done. It drew me in. My wife left the room. She didn't want to have anything to do with this because she knew the story. And by the end, I was like, you should have watched it. It was really well done. I don't know any other way they could have done it like if this was just a story, an ice skating story about a girl that, was totally fictional, I don't think it would have worked. I think the fact that it was based in reality and the altered or alternating points of view really made it work. The different aspect ratios on the camera going from, 3x4 for like an old school TV when it's at mom's old shitty house, and then other aspect ratios. I think there was at least three that it flipped through during the movie, but really liked it. I would like to say I learned a lot, but I'm not sure which parts were true. Um, did I freeze or did you guys freeze?
You did.
So
You froze and
it
then
was
it
good.
sped you up to catch up. It's great.
Yeah.
You're like a superhero.
I'm gonna hang out and just listen, and hopefully I get to vote. But
Nope.
Don't we vote via email?
Correct.
No, at the
Yeah.
end of
No.
no, at the end of the conversation, we vote live.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I wasn't here last week, so
Correct. We were originally going to do that, but we changed it up so we could at least hear each other give the votes.
gotcha.
Melo, however, has emailed Nikki both weeks.
Okay, thank you I was going to wrap myself out, but I appreciate that same.
All right.
I'm sure you guys had a good laugh. So glad we could share that with the group. Mr. Wilden, you are up, sir.
What else can you say? This was great. I really, really like this. Acting on the acting, Allison Janney, first of all, we said a lot about her. I thought she and Paul Walter Hauser did great, but especially Matt was saying earlier when they showed the real footage, that blew me away when they
Yep.
showed just those clips of like the actual mom and the actual Sean. I thought they were like, oh, these were just great acting jobs and great characters, and then yeah, no, they were like Matt said, they were spot on.
Yeah.
I was twice as impressed as after I saw that. Um, but everything about this movie, I mean, the acting was great. The soundtrack, like, what a fantastic soundtrack! Some great music. I love the Rocky um training style when they start playing Barracuda from Heart. Just
Yep.
great tune. There's some Fleetwood Mac in there. There's a lot of great tunes in there. Uh, the style, the cinematography, however you want to say it. Again, everybody's kind of said that. I love that too. Um, a little shout out for costume design and makeup too. Speaking, the acting was fantastic, but they dressed them up to, I mean, the mom's hair on Allison Janney was, spot on, and the outfits that Margot Robbie would wear were very, they looked like the Tonya Harding one when they were showing, that footage. I was pretty impressed with how well they got this. And the dialogue, the way they wrote this, I know a lot of it was based on, the interviews, but clearly there was writing done with this, and they pulled it off really well. Um, so, on the mom, at the beginning of this, I knew she's not a good person, but I was a huge fan. You can't help it because she's so charismatic and just so great at that role. And she was at the beginning of the movie, it was hilarious. So I started writing down a list of favorite quotes from the mom. And then about a third of the way through the movie, she kind of got less funny and more terrible, and I'd stop writing things down. I was like, oh, okay, this is how I'm kind of supposed to feel about her, because like, she's not really that great. Um, but man, that those first few scenes with her are just great. The line with the oh yeah, she sticks out, that's because she looks like she chops wood every morning. She does chop wood every morning, like fantastic. And then when they're sitting there at the kitchen table, and she's like, I would never be with somebody that hit me like that. You hit dad, well, that's different. Like, just the attitude that she had. Also, I don't know whose decision this was, but I absolutely loved When Jeff comes in and sees Sean and they kind of nod to each other and Sean gets up from his dinner and acts all tough and serious, but he still has the napkin with barbecue sauce all over it just tucked into his neck the entire time. I rewound and watched that a couple times because it's like it just oh, fantastic. The humor was on point for such a disastrous, chaotic situation. They did a good job of injecting humor into this story. Regardless of how accurate whoever's story is, the character of Jeff in this, and this is even like before the incident, I'm just talking a guy that just keeps beating the shit out of his, out of his girl and then apologizing, trying to get her back and, just breaking everything. And then, they're on the phone and Sean's like, hey man, like you gave her everything. Well, you should tell her that. And then like whatever he says to her translates to Jeff over the phone as saying, "Why are you being such a bitch?" Just like it's not getting it all. But it makes me sad that guys like that do actually exist. Like regardless of how accurate this particular story is about this guy, like that character was spot on for a lot of actual men in the world, which sucks. Um I guess that's mostly it. I love me some Paul Walter Hauser, and he did a great job too. Um, not my yeah. There's I'm just gonna be repeating stuff at this point, so I'll cut it off from there.
All right, thanks. Yeah, he's kind of like a modern Ethan Suplee, I think. All right, covered everybody, right?
Yep.
There's nobody hidden or any of that shit.
Hilty's not here, but he texted me and he said that the movie's terrible and he's embarrassed that he picked it.
That sounds like spot on. Yeah, Dan mentioned this. So she was the fifth child from husband number 4. I put, how is this lady getting married so much?
Yeah. I got an idea. I have an idea.
Well, yeah. Anyway, Hardy and Galooly never could have expected to be played by Robbie and Stan, I wouldn't think. Let me see. They were only together like 5-ish years. Like all of this took place in that time from her at 15. It's just nuts. Well, which I don't know if that math totally adds up, but that's what I thought I read.
Well, that's the other thing. She was 15 when they met. He was 18. What the hell is he hanging out at an ice rink for? That's really creepy.
Not good.
Looking for a girlfriend to punch around.
I read that Robbie didn't know that this was a real event on the first time she read through the script. I get,
right.
She's young enough.
I read that too. She didn't know this happened. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, back to so Matt, I know we kind of gave you a little bit of crap about the Margot or Margot. Margot Kidder is why I know that is Margot. So I don't know, random.
Next Tonya week Hardy's I will be drinking a glass of Merlot.
There you go.
All right.
Tanya Hardy's only 5'1", which I didn't know, and it just kind of adds a little element to I don't know, all of it. The talent on the ice and being able to be so powerful and do what she does, but then also the physical side of things with the violence and all that. I put Janie is great. Devil Woman is a song.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Mike talked about some of the soundtrack stuff, and that's what was playing at one point early on for her. When they broke the fourth wall, that threw me off a little bit. Like I was fine with it. I was along for the ride, but then, and then they did it. So it was her first, and maybe like the first 2 or 3 times, and then he got to do it as well, which was an interesting choice and kind of went with how there were different perspectives at play here. To that end, I wrote down a formula for when they change point of view. Like I never felt like I understood when they were choosing to go with whichever's version of the truth, or they cut back to those what were now interviews. Matt talked about it first, but I think Mike and others have said it about the feeling kind of strange to laugh at certain parts. And one that got me was when she's interviewing now or whatever. She's like, let me just say one thing. Nancy gets hit one time. And I mean, it's not appropriate, I guess, but it's funny. Like, let me see.
She also says that wasn't my fault. A lot.
lot.
Yes.
Yes.
And like
that had to be purposeful, right? Like it had to be purposeful for the movie maker to show her saying that and living that so much. Like, that wasn't my fault. That wasn't my, like, you might be right sometimes that it wasn't your fault, but a lot of those you were directly in.
Now, breaking that down though, she never says that as she's acting out scenes with other characters. She only says that wasn't my fault when she's doing the interview stuff,
Right.
which kind of leads me to believe, I mean, we don't have the transcript of the interviews, but it kind of leads me to believe that's some shit that she actually said in the interview.
Sure.
And they didn't really show it as being her personality as she went about doing things. It's just, her perspective, which seems a little off.
Did anybody, so I wanted to, and I looked, like I said, I went through all the Wikipedia stuff, but I didn't go through, I wanted to actually watch the interviews. Are they available? Did anybody watch any of that?
I didn't.
Okay. Just curious.
I'm sure
Just
they're
the
on
wedding
YouTube
night.
somewhere.
Just the wedding night video.
I was working at the video store. That tape existed there.
All right.
And,
it existed, did it? How do you know that, Melo?
Because I had to check it out.
Oh, I see. There was a title on your list.
Yeah, no, that was a weird gig, man. It'd be 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, and there's some dude showing up. Slowly walk around the wall and then go back into that area. Anyway, so the first big competition, that's when I really noticed the effects, and it was like A for effort. They did well with it, but you can tell. And what I actually thought they did have a body double, but like her head, the lighting just wasn't quite right. Like, it seemed a little brighter than the rest. I don't know if that was it, but that's what it felt like to me. The line, I remember a time he took her to a Richard Marx concert. That's how you knew things were serious. But that was funny.
That's my first live concert that I ever saw was Richard
Is
Marx.
it really?
Yeah.
That's great. I went to Richard Marx as well. He's big. He's big at the time.
When they cut back to the mom and she goes, well, my storyline is disappearing now. What the fuck? Or that was great. Let me see. Oh, I thought that it painted her in a more positive light than I definitely would have thought previously. But I think as we're talking through this, like Tim said, watching it a second time, I think I would have wanted to, go through, and I don't know that that's the case necessarily. I think there's like some reading between the lines, and it's not my fault, or that wasn't my fault stuff that isn't as positive, especially the one part. I mean, the whole, like, just because they found me writing down her practice schedule in my handwriting, or the location, and that, it's fairly not egregious, but whatever. Seems like evidence.
Damning evidence.
Yeah, there you go. It works. There was something else I was thinking that happens a lot, but I appreciate the assist, man. I forgot completely about the boxing afterward.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was interesting. She was 3-3.
I might say I was at bowling one night, 20 some years ago, and Tonya came on boxing, and half the bowling league went into the bar and was watching this fight on the TV.
She's a draw. She's a draw. Like, ever since this thing happened, because I remember her being on whatever the cooking show was too, and I was like, I never heard of this cooking show before, but she'll just do anything, is what I was thinking at the time. But see it from her perspective, like, hey man, I'm broke and I can't do what I used to do, and I get it.
Yeah, that part in court where she's talking about how, like, I dropped out of high school, I have no skills essentially, except for this. Like that was, and the fact that I read she's still skating with her trainer, or at least as of whenever that article was written, which is, not that long ago. And then the only other thing I like the part about them being friends. And I wouldn't have thought that I'd have ever seen Nancy Kerrigan shotgunning a beer. That was kind of fun.
Bush Light, I'm pretty sure.
Was it?
Or a Bush, something.
Nice. Yeah. So this is one of those for me that I really like. I think I wish I remembered the history, or maybe knew a little bit more about the story more going in, or maybe had seen some of those original interviews. Because instead of being able to kind of follow some of the nuance, I was more remembering or learning some different things that then I was having. There was like another layer that I was having to watch it through. So yeah, the performance is fantastic. We've talked about and all of that, but just for me, I think there was a little bit of through no fault of the movie, just some stuff that I don't know. I could have benefited from or didn't quite get out of that I should have. So yeah, definitely liked it and understand and appreciate what they were going for. But yeah, so we'll leave it at that. So I think we're good. Tim, back to you.
Yeah,
one last thing about
sorry.
About Margot Robbie. I thought her best acting moment in the movie was when she's putting on her makeup before she was going out to skate, and you can tell she's trying to keep her shit together, and it's not working. I thought really in that moment she was really good.
That was a great scene.
It.
And didn't she get nominated for the Oscar as well and not win it?
Yes,
I think so.
Her and Sebastian did.
I think.
Yeah. We talk about whether people deserve Oscars and nominations and stuff, and I talk about it even though I never watch, so I don't really know who they went against. But that scene alone makes me think that's why you get nominated for stuff like that, because that was some great camera right in your face acting. I had one trivia thing left over too. Twice in the movie they used the song Gloria. And the connection I read in the trivia thing that I didn't think of was it was used in Flashdance, where her friend the skater falls down and has a disastrous skate. And there's a lot of disastrous skating things that happen in this movie, and I wonder if that's a coincidence or if that was just a subtle little on purpose type thing. So yeah, I'm good with moving on. If you guys are good, anybody else got anything on Tonya?
I was just gonna say, could you imagine part of the tragedy here for me, like watching as a sports fan? Could you imagine if life had dealt her to a loving family with money? You know what I mean? Like,
They'd have pushed her to being a doctor.
or whatever, a family that would have supported her better than
Without throwing knives.
Yeah, exactly. And would we be talking about, would it be Tonya Harding, one of the best American skaters ever to exist and won 100 gold medals and blah, blah, blah. Like that's part of the tragedy too, is her circumstance. She was able to, the good part of the story is she was able to overcome her circumstance to a certain degree. But the tragedy of the story is what would have happened, or maybe not. Maybe it was the catalyst. As much as you hate to say it, maybe mom was right. Maybe the catalyst was how crappy it was for her. I don't know. It just
close to what Brian was saying earlier, I think.
Yeah.
I'm saying they'd have told her good job, and she'd have ended up in Ice Capades.
Yeah. Disney on Ice.
Did you guys catch that when they're giving the mom shit about her not having a fur coat? Then they go to them shooting rabbits, and then she's wearing a fur coat. Did you guys all catch that she's wearing rabbits?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dad,
can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The little girl behind her says, "What kind of fur is that?"
Yeah. Then she flips her off.
Yeah.
I didn't.
And then
catch
the
that
other thing, I was going to test that Malo said when he was talking about Nancy Kerrigan. I remember some of this, as you guys were talking about, it sparked up a lot of memories. When Kerrigan took the silver and she looked pissed off on the podium, and then how Tanya Harding was, she looked like she stepped in poo,
Yeah.
just kept saying that. And I was like, you're going with poo, out of the person you are, you're choosing poo, but I do remember that being a thing, like people thinking that she was ungrateful that she won the silver, but then totally forgot about that.
Well,
So
she
she
also
was
went to Disney World and she said something like, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever done."
Like on a hot mic or something, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, she was in first going into that last day. So when she got the silver, she actually dropped in the ranking because it was a several day thing. So some of it is I was in first place and I lost it, you know. And maybe she's thinking I had a great skate and the judges fucked me. It's not my fault. Maybe she's doing some it's not my fault stuff on that stand.
And me.
Uh, all right. So back to the competition here then. We need some guesses. So first I go to Brian. Brian, your guess for who picked Tanya.
I'm going to go with Hilty, Mike Hilty, because of the neon portion.
I like that
of
connection. And somebody else suggested last week he picked Matt because Matt wasn't here, and it would be a super genius move to not be here on the movie that he picked. But I believe he's watching Fantastic Four. We go to me. I'm going to say that Dan Sears picked this movie, and I'm picking Dan Sears for the reason that he has picked stuff like the on the basis of sex type movie, which I think this is. There's a parallel here. Aaron, your pick.
I'm all right. Can you pick the same person that you've already picked?
Sure.
All right. I'm picking you,
Okay.
Tim. I think this is a Tim movie.
But we're gonna have to pick at least one person, right? That we've already picked.
Unless you
Because
want to
there's
get yourself
eight
right.
movies. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, Aaron, Tim laid it on pretty thick and the first time seeing it, and just so
So yeah,
I
there's
see
a
where you're
lot
going
of.
with that.
He
That
had a
is what
lot
somebody
of
would say if they
epiphanies.
had picked the movie.
A lot
We
of
go to
epiphanies.
Melo, your pick for who picked Tanya.
Well, I think you might already know.
I don't. She just
Oh.
told me that you emailed her. I don't know who you picked.
I told you I'm an idiot, not to what degree.
She didn't say those words, but I'm glad to
No,
hear you say them.
That's fine. I went. Now I almost want to check my email, but I'm pretty sure I picked Dan.
Okay. We go to Dan Sears. Dan Sears, who did you pick for Tanya?
All right. I'm gonna say the person that kept going out of the conversation was trying to hide that he's the one that picked
Yeah,
it.
the
I'm
hide and
going with
seek guy?
Aaron.
Hey
Yeah.
guys, I got no internet. I don't need a poker face. I can't be here. Hilty, he texted me earlier, and let me make sure I got this right. I believe he said that he did. He picked Dan for this movie as well. Mike Wilden, who do you believe picked Tanya?
For all week I thought it was a Brian Larson pick, and then after tonight's talk, I actually also believe it's Dan Sears.
Oh,
I'm gonna go with Dan.
And I didn't get picked once last week.
Yeah, you're getting lit up right here.
Yeah.
Matt Smith, Matthew, your thoughts on who picked Tanya?
I'm gonna go Tim.
All right,
Tim Larson.
there you have it, folks. We have 8 picks. Brian picks Hilty. I picked Dan Sears. Aaron picks Tim Larson. Dan picks Aaron Lashbrook. Hilty picks Dan. Wilden picks Dan. Melo picks Dan. And Matt Smith picks Tim Larson. We'll
So
find
from
out.
last week, Matt, who did Matt pick last week?
He picked Mike Wilden last week for his
Mike,
guess.
okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Funny, after we left the conversation last week, Aaron and I were talking, and I was like, I'll have all these written down and, blah, blah, blah. And Aaron's like, oh, I already have them written. Don't worry. I've already got it. So, okay. Dan, moving on to the next week, it will be your turn to supervise this conversation. So I'm going to do a randomizer, and I'm trying to make sure you guys can see this. We get movie number 7. And so let me text Nikki, and we'll tell her that we need movie number 7. talk amongst yourselves for a moment, and I will let you guys know which movie we're about to watch. Okay. I love that Brian's take on this is like, hey, at least the mom did something. She was trying. And the psychologist in me is going, yeah, your dad never showed up for anything for you, did he?
She did work like 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Ice time is expensive.
I mean, it is now. I don't know what was going on in the 70s, but well, she was such a great character. My God, she was a great character. And one more trivia thing. Allison Janney hates birds, doesn't like birds at all. And they had to go through 3 birds. Like they kicked a couple birds off the set before she found one that she could deal with.
Well, that last one was really fucking with her, like in her last scene.
And,
I mean,
and that
really
was the
going
best
over it.
one.
Yeah.
Didn't she say it was like her 6th husband? This is my 6th husband.
Oh, right.
yes.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was one after Tonya Harding's dad.
I'm sure.
Gotta pay the bills.
Oh, how funny is it that I would love to think that this is real with her personality. The paparazzi shows up at the door and she puts out velvet fucking ropes and says, you want to take my picture? You have to stand behind these ropes. And they do.
And they all
Right.
do.
Like they don't have to respect that, but they're like, okay, yeah. Or I guess
like
maybe
that.
they probably stay off the property. They stay off private property, so they would normally be standing in the street. So maybe she allowed them to get closer, but she's like, you have to stand behind these ropes. But I think that's fucking hilarious. Okay, the pick is in. Our next movie that Dan will be guiding us through the conversation is 2022's movie. The title is RRR. RRR. Capital R, capital R, capital R is what I have here. So there you have it. That'll be our next pick, and we'll get closer to getting to the bottom of this contest next week. Have a good week, everybody.
That'll do it for this episode of the BTB Movie Club podcast. Thank you as always for listening. We know we enjoyed ourselves. We hope you did too. Have yourselves a great week. We are partnered with the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network.